FJ40. Look behind me. Look at the sex appeal of this thing. I'm aroused. This one's a 4th month, 1978. So back in the 70s. And this one's only had 2 owners in its whole complete life. The first owner had it out at Ipswich. Stock as a rock. And he didn't do anything with it apart from a few pinstripes. Now the guy that owned it out at Ipswich kept it stock, but he owned a paint shop. So he's probably touched it up over the years he's owned it. And also owning a paint shop, he's put all the decals on it. And I tell you, he's just gone the little effort, even where you lift the bonnet up underneath the grille here. On some models you've got to, that's where you lift the bonnet up underneath here. He's even put the stripes there. He's just gone that little extra with this one. And that's all he done. Now that original owner, towards the end of its life, all he did, he had another daily. So he just went to the dump about 4 times a year in this thing, this FJ40. And that's all he did. And now Troy owns it. And Troy's also Southeast Queensland, and Troy is the 2nd owner. And everything else that we look at now, all the mods, everything, is Troy's handiwork. Now Troy also has a different daily as well. This is, hold on to your hats, this is a Fraser Island vehicle. This one's built to go on the beach and the sand and the salt. I can hear some of you crying in your panties now, but that's what Troy wants to do with this one, and he looks after it, he maintains it, and it is designed and built now for Troy to live the lifestyle and go to Fraser Island a couple of years. And that's what brings it to Mr. Landcruiser. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. And I tell you what, this is in excellent condition. Troy really, really looks after this one. In its life, Troy's done a lot of things. He's done a conversion. So normally I go around the outside of the vehicle. Let's go straight in and look at the donk on this thing and see that it's not the 2F anymore. There we go. It's got the turboed 2H, the high mount Garrett on rebuilt 2Hs in here now, and there's a lot of people that love their 2Hs. You'll find in a shorty, they come out in utes and troopies. A shorty's a lot lighter. So this thing's got balls. It's got a bit of go for a 2H, being in such a lighter vehicle. We've all had a drive. I love driving this thing. Richard's had a lap. We all talk about it. It's such a cool thing to drive. With the 2H comes not just the turbo, but he's plumbed up the aircon as well. So it's got the compressor there, keeps it cool inside. A few little things. The diesel 40 series came out with the water separator and what have you. So being a 2F and FJ40, it didn't. So he's put in his aftermarket water separator here. It's got the little pod filter, and he told me while building this, his mate accidentally put a positive on a negative and vice versa and fried the loom. So they've built a full loom for this car. So the loom's relatively new with the engine. And that turbo blew up and shut itself into the engine, and it was rebuilt a 2nd time. Lucky for Troy, not out of his pocket. He got it under warranty on that one. Very, very lucky. You don't want to go building an engine twice in a short amount of time. That would be quite expensive. So the donks, it's not just a 2H turbo, but it's fully rebuilt. It's all new under here. Again, the new loom. There's a few other little goodies. I see his kill switch and some electronical stuff. He's got electronical stuff. That's me going into tech talk. And it's got the couple of tech in there. The couple of techs like electronic rust preventative, they say. There's a lot of controversy over if it works or not. I won't get into that, but at least Troy's making the effort. Regardless, he's going to that length because this is a Fraser rig. And while I'm standing here and I'm talking about it, I look at all the, if it's fish oil or lanolin or something, this thing's doused and coated absolutely everywhere. When you live the lifestyle and take these on the beach, there's nothing wrong with that. We all do it here and we absolutely love it, but it comes down to maintenance, 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 maintenance. And Troy does it himself. It's in here for reasons. He said when he purchased this vehicle, he pulled off all the auxiliaries, everything off that he could, and then reassembled it with a whole heap of stainless steel bolts and screws and what have you. Everything that could come off, like bull bar and and so on, just everything that he could pull off. He pulled it off and then got stuff powder coated. So everything's been powder coated and protected. Even the glove box lid, he's just gone to that trouble because he wants to live a certain lifestyle, and he's done a really good job. The outside of this vehicle, woo! Let's talk about the outside. How can you not see this stack? Isn't she pretty? That's a highlight right there, and she blows some soot too. I'll have to take her for a drive when I'm finished the walk around and just show you, blow a little puff of smoke, because it's such a fun vehicle to drive. Not just the stainless stack, we've got the stainless snorkel on the other side as well. It's come up a treat, all custom made, nothing off the shelf, and the stainless fishing rod holders up the front, which leads me to the bull bar again, which he's told me has been powder coated amongst other things. The worn winch. I like how it's all tucked away, neatly presented there, and well looked after from elements and debris. And then both headlights and spotlights are great white, a brand that you don't see too often, but I think they're a good brand. I don't know much about them. I know they're at the pricier end of the spectrum, so they're quality stuff, ADR approved for the headlights and what have you. That's the front of the vehicle. Up top, so it's got the roof rack, and the roof rack has bracing all along the sides to carry the load evenly, and I'm only 103 kilos, so a light fella like me doesn't put a dent in it. We've got the double LED at the front. We've got LED at the side. As you can see, we've got LED here as well, but on the passenger side, we've got the awning, and under the awning, we've got 4 miniature light bars. So this must be the camping side, the kitchen side, the setup and cook the billy at night side with so many lights. Also up the top, we've got Anderson plugs with those Andersons. So that way, I don't know why, I'd have to ask him, but we can run power at the top as well. Maybe he puts a fridge up here, who knows, but it's got power at the top. And behind me is the shovel and the high lift jack mount, and they're sitting back there, and a real good advantage of having them there. If you're bogged anywhere, this is fully loaded. That is the easiest place to grab them and get them down, so that's smart thinking as well. That's the top of the vehicle. She is lovely up there, nice breeze today. Look at this, aren't they shiny? Neg 44, the deep dish with some Jeweler all-terrains. They're Bridgestone. They are Bridgestone. And look, they've got the chrome covers. This is the style of hub you'd see. The old cruisers used to have Selectro. And I don't know that this is a Toyota brand. It is called Power Train. But I have seen them on a cruiser, so maybe in the day. Let us know in the comments if you've seen these, or if you're a cruiser guy and you've seen Powertrain before on a cruiser, or you've seen them, you're old enough to know the dealers, because I have seen them before, and you just turn the whole outer piece. He tells me they're a bit hard to turn with the chrome casing. Look at this, having the deep dish wheels, the big fat tyres to make it legal. He said, this is an aftermarket Nissan Patrol flare that he's used stainless steel screws and modified it a little bit, tweaked it and shaved it to get it to fit, make everything legal, which leads to the rear 40 series ones. Keep those deep dishes legal. Little things, this mirror is an older mirror it doesn't belong on this arm, but he's adapted it, so you've got a genuine mirror on a genuine arm. That both of them don't belong together, but they've made it work. Just little details. Most guys would know. If you don't, this is to fold the windscreen down. You have to remove the roof. So you'd only do that if it was a bull catcher and you're leaving it down. You don't just do it Sunday for the beach. The rear of this vehicle, this is really cool. We've got a 1978 here, and it's got the barn doors. And this one's got the pop-up top, and it's a 1978. So another one, leave some comments. Was 78 the year that the changeover happened, or did they lap each other for many years? It's so cool to see. I love the old style like that. Very, very cool. That's all swing arm, tow bar, nothing else special at the back. So we better go inside. Oh yeah, look at inside. Inside, this front seat has been adapted to go further back than where it normally sits. So that's really excellent for taller guys, larger guys. This one is for you. The shorties already go further back than the ute, but this one has an extra amount. My stomach is nowhere near that steering wheel. Very comfy. It's got black duck seat covers underneath. I had a sneaky peek. You can see down through here. It's not its original upholstery, so this has been well looked after and reupholstered in its time. We'll go in the back. In the back, we have custom drawers. Custom drawers Troy put in there himself, and he just keeps things like the ladder in there, the ladders for the roof racks. So it's not fixed on the side, it's something he puts up. The fridge stays in here, and beside the fridge is the standalone battery system that lives in there and operates fridge and accessories. And again, I said there was this power up on the roof, so that would run through the auxiliary battery. A custom roll cage or a safety bar or a sports bar, whatever you want to call it to make it sound legal. So that's peace of mind when if you're going to tip her over on high tide in the sand. She's you're not going to hurt yourself. Also in the rear, on both sides, he's got LED strips, so it'd be quite good in here at night. And above my head, all the original liners come out, carpet's gone in. We've got a console. The console's a doozy. It's got double GME UHF, and I get why people do this. You might have one on the say channel 40 in Australia where you listen to the trucks, the other one on Convoy where you're talking to your mates. Makes a lot of sense. And then it's also got the red arc system to keep an eye on both batteries, auxiliary and start battery. And then your stereo. Your stereo also has your speakers and more lighting. This car loves its lights. More lights in the roof. This thing, I've already mentioned it. Check this out, aftermarket aircon unit, and it is real chilly. Covers a big broad area. Now the dash has been cut up a little bit, but it's done a really neat job. We've got 2 gauges for boost and pyro have been placed in there, and then a panel switch has utilised an old stereo hole but made it a lot bigger and put all these switches in one simple easy location. It blends in really nice, done a really good job. This one is also, I've noticed, Ruthie approved. How many of you out there own a 40 and have a Ruthie approved one? I know I do, so that's always a signature addition there. On the passenger side, when they rebuilt the loom, they did away with the old glass fuse boxes, and now it's on the passenger side, it's got all these fuse boxes, all blade now. So that's a nice little update you do when you're changing looms. And that's the interior of this bad boy. This one has so much to talk about inside. I forgot a couple of things. It's got custom made door cards. They are really nice, and the speakers put in there. You put a spacer in the speaker, so all the window mech and everything still works. That is come up a real treat. I don't know, is there a lot of people that own these old in ute style? In the utes, they never came out with. This is a shorty, and underneath the interior, for those that don't know, right up till 1979, the fuel tank was under your bum inside the vehicle with the driver. The shorties had a protective cover just to keep it all sealed. Why the ute didn't get one, maybe it's a room thing behind them, I don't know. But the shorty has that protection there to keep you an extra layer from the fuel tank. That's it. This one's a doozy. Now Troy, you always say, what are your future plans? This is it, he uses it. It's in here for maintenance. His future plans are just to keep going to Fraser at least twice a year and taking this to turn heads, have yarns, enjoy life on the beach. And Mr. Landcruiser, this time, we sell parts, new, used. We have a workshop. We do multiple things here. We do restorations. This one's maintenance. So we did from tie rods to swivel hubs, bearings, just, go right through this whole vehicle maintenance wise. Again, you've heard me say it before, we do a report, we give the report over, they say how much of the report they want us to do and how much they don't want us to do. This one, we've really looked after it, so it's been a lot of fun, so much fun. before he picks it up, I've got to keep enjoying it because this one is such a lovely thing to drive. I'm going for another little squirt right now. Oh yeah. Everyone loves a 2H. Well, not everyone.